Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be going over my entire physical TBR. I've got no idea how many books there are on it, but I can tell you right now I have more unread books than I do read books. Just from an observational standpoint, there is a lot. And if you have a little bit of a keen eye, you may notice a new addition. I'm currently in the middle of filming a bookshelf building and reorganization video, which is why I grasped this opportunity. I don't know which video I'm going to be posting first, but say hello, say welcome to my new bookshelf. She's so cute. She's so tall. I'm really excited to get these books back on her. But first, we're going to go over my entire physical TBR. It's so big. I have 2 stacks right here and I have, what, like 7 stacks all the way to back here. And yeah, we are gonna go through every single one of them today and I am going to try and explain myself out of having this many books. All right, first cab off the rank, we have Butcher and Blackbird by Bryn Weaver. I really enjoyed Black Sheep by Bryn Weaver and Alexa Harlow, so I'm definitely looking forward to reading this one. I've heard it's like a little bit of a goofy, like murder mystery kind of romance kind of vibe. I'm probably gonna like it, so I don't know why I've not picked it up yet, but first cab off the rank. I need to not go into big in-depth explanations about every book, otherwise we're gonna be here for hours. Next, we have Love and Other Words by Christina Lauren. Then we have The Book of Cold Cases by Simone St. James. Hook, Line and Sinker by Tessa Bailey. I'm honestly not sure if I'm ever gonna come back to this book. I liked It Happened One Summer, but I wasn't obsessed, so I don't know, maybe one day, maybe for a video. By the way, if you do want to see me read any of these books in videos, please comment down below letting me know. And also, if you've read any of these books and they're like standout favorites and you really think I should get to them soon, please let me know as well. Next up, we have Into the Tide by Laura Pavlov, Wild at Heart and Forever Wild by K.A. Tucker. I really want to come back to this series. Cruel Prince by A. Jade, because I loved the words by her, except this is a high school bully romance, so I'm not sure if I'm ever gonna get to it. The Wall of Winnipeg and Wait For It by Mariana Zapata. Collide by Belle Cabra. I'm really looking forward to getting to this one, hopefully in the next month or two. The Right Move by Liz Tomford. I, controversial opinion, didn't like Mile High like at all, so despite knowing that everyone loves this book, I'm a little bit apprehensive. Steel King by Devney Perry. The Runaways Bind Up, also by Devney Perry. This is a collection of I think like 5 books. The main reason I haven't read it yet is because the font is absolutely tiny. I'm probably gonna read these ones on my Kindle and then just like have this as a little bit of a trophy. I honestly think it's really cute regardless, so I'm still happy that I have it. And then we have potentially a bit of a crime. I have Binding 13, Keeping 13, Saving 6, and Redeeming 6, and I've not read any of them. Let me know if you want a dedicated reading vlog to these books, because I think that could be kind of fun. All right, we're gonna swing over to this side now. First up, we have The White Monarch Trilogy by Jessica Hawkins. This is a bind up of 3 books, and it follows like the Mexican cartel, I'm pretty sure. Then we have Delilah by W. Winters. This is the first in a trilogy. I read like a good portion of it in my 24-hour readathon like a year ago, but I've not come back to it and I cannot remember a single thing that happens in it. North of the Stars by Monica James. I recently finished A Fate Inked in Blood, so I wouldn't be surprised if I felt like in the mood for this one sometime soon, because it's about Vikings. Enemies by Tidjan. Lucky Hit by Hannah Cohen. I tried reading Strung Along by her and I didn't really like it. I didn't like the writing style, so I'm unsure if I'll ever come back to this one, but I'm still kind of happy to have like the old indie version. Falcon's Prey by C. Lamari. I've tried reading this one a couple of times and I just can't really get into it, but low-key I kind of like the cover and, you know, maybe one day. And we have Praise by Sarah Kate. I've read Give Me More in this series and really enjoyed it, so I'm definitely interested in coming back to Praise. However, I don't like a big age gap, so we'll see how we go. Next, we have Hooked and Wretched by Emily McIntyre. The Predator by Ronix. I've tried reading this one and I really don't like the writing style, so I don't think I'm ever going to come back to it. Mine is also like formatted really strangely and the font is just like not particularly easy to read. Sinners Anonymous by Som Sketcher. Welcome to the Dark Side and Dead Man Walking by Gianna Darling. I have been eating up Gianna's recent vlogs. I love her so much. She's so freaking sweet. Again, this one is a huge age gap, but I have actually read like a little chunk of it and I'm not minding it, so that's a bit of character development for you. And I just love the cover of Dead Man Walking, so I had to have the physical version. We have Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros. I read a good chunk of this like on my way back from New Zealand last year. I read like 120 pages and I just never kind of came back to it. It just got very confusing and I also spilled orange juice on it. Just put orange juice on it on the plane. She's fine, she's not sticky or anything. But yeah, I just haven't come back to this one yet. I might wait to see what the reviews of the third book are like, and depending on that, I might continue, or I might just pretend Fourth Wing was a standalone. We've obviously arrived at the fantasy chunk that I pulled off my shelves. We have Powerless by Lauren Roberts, Crooked Kingdom by Lee Bardugo, Dance of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson. I recently watched Just Ali read this duet, so I'm very, very intrigued now to try it myself. We have A Fate of Wrath and Flame and A Curse of Blood and Stone by K.A. Tucker. And finally on that stack we have The Song of the Marked by S.M. Gaither. Next up we have The Architect by Nikki Sloan. Then we have When She Unravels by Gabrielle Sands. I've read half of this book and I didn't really like the trajectory it was going on, so I stopped reading it. The Confidence of Wildflowers by Michaelia Meltzer. Swift and Saddled by Lila Sage. Low-key, I want to pick this one up really soon because she's a very short, hopefully very easy read. Misfit by Elle Kennedy. Always Mine, again by Laura Pavlov. Better Hate Than Never by Chloe Leese. I haven't actually read anything by Chloe Leese yet, so I'm really, really intrigued by this one. Things We Hide From the Light by Lucy Score. Gonna be totally honest, I don't know that I'm ever gonna get to this book because I don't really gel with Lucy Score's writing, so she's just gonna look pretty on my shelves. We have The Housemaid's Secret by Freda McFadden. Wrecked and Redeemed by Lauren Asher. I am sort of interested in reading some of Lauren Asher's newer romances, like the Love Unwritten and its sequel, The Spanish Love Deception by Elena Almas. Don't know how I haven't read this one yet, but I haven't. The Cheat Sheet and When in Rome by Sarah Adams. Tattered Stars by Catherine Cowles. And finally on that stack we have Mayfly by CJ Lead. Moving back to this monstrosity. Up top we have Tempt Our Fate by Kat Singleton. I absolutely adored Rewrite Our Story by Kat, so I obviously picked up the sequel, and to be perfectly honest, I'm not the biggest fan of a billionaire trope, so I think that's why I've avoided it, but I definitely am interested in coming back to Sutton Mountain. We have Steel Princess by Rena Kent. I've obviously read Deviant King and it was okay, but it had some sort of triggering themes in there for me, so I honestly don't think I'm going to pick up Steel Princess, but the cover is still beautiful, so I'm gonna hold on to her. Does anyone have any guesses for this really thick one up here? It is, of course, Pucking Around by Emily Raff. We have Wild Love by Elsie Silver. Hopeless and Reckless by Elsie Silver. I absolutely adored Flawless and Heartless out of this series. However, I didn't really like Powerless, and I have read a little bit of Reckless and wasn't like in love, so I am hoping to come back to these ones. Hopeless is quite intriguing to me, as well as Wild Love, so I don't know, is it a crime to skip Reckless? You're all gonna say yes. I can hit you now, I'm gonna eat my words and say that I will read Reckless before the rest of them. Then we have Inner Jam by Kate Canterbury, One Touch by Lena Hendricks. I love this cover so much, I think she's so cute. Unsteady by Peyton Corinne, Flock by Kate Stewart, The Enforcer by Avery Keelan. I've not heard very good things, so I'm unsure if I'm gonna pick this one up, but the cover's pretty, so I'm gonna keep her. Unravel Me by Becca Mack. The first two in this series I vaguely enjoyed, so I definitely am interested in reading this one. First Down by Grace Riley. Waking Olivia by Elizabeth O'Rourke. Tease by Melanie Harlow. I've read every other book in this series and really enjoyed them. However, this one, I'm not entirely sure about it. The tropes of this book don't really do it for me, and I feel like the heroine might be a little bit too quirky for my liking. Unforgettable by Willow Astor. Learn Your Lesson by Candy Steiner. I'm so excited to read this book very shortly. And finally on that huge stack we have Fair Catch by Candy Steiner. Up top of this stack we have my Agatha Christie special edition called Murder at the Vicarage. I'm honestly not sure if I'm ever going to read this book. I just thought the cover was absolutely beautiful and I picked it up from Mrs. Blackwell's bookshop in Greytown in New Zealand, and it just has like cute little memories attached to it, and that's kind of why I like it so much. And the cover is of course absolutely gorgeous. Then we have All My Kisses For You by Monica Murphy. I'm very excited to read this one shortly as well. Playing to Win by Monica Murphy. Darling Venom by Parker S. Huntington. I'm very excited to get to this one as well. I think it's probably gonna break my heart though, so we'll see. Tutoring the Player by Rebecca Genchak. And we're back to a little fantasy portion. We have The Ashes and the Starcursed King and The Serpent and the Wings of Night. This is the indie version and this is the trad published version. Honestly, they're not too bad. I think the traditionally published one is a tiny bit taller, but you know what? I don't really mind mind. We have another one by Carissa Broadbent. This is Daughter of No Worlds. I love this cover so much. We have Devil of Dublin by B.B. Easton. 5 Rounds by Nikki Castle. Kingpin's Foxglove by Brie Porter. I'm so sad that Brie has like unpublished all of her books, which means I'm never gonna get to read the second in this series, but the cover is beautiful, so she can just look pretty on my shelves. And then finally on the bottom of that stack, we have Liar, Fake, and Kate by Tate James. I'm really honestly very happy that I have these editions of this series because I think they're so gorgeous. And finally, I'm not gonna forget, we have 2 more stacks right up the back here. Up top, we have The Bribe by Devney Perry. We have The Dixon Rule by Elle Kennedy. We're currently going through my July TBR, so you guys have probably seen these books recently. We have Dust Storm by Maggie Gates. Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. I'll Always Be With You by Monica Murphy. Then we have Satan's Affair by Penelope Douglas. Huh? I honestly might just read this one soon because I low-key might be in a little bit of a book slump, so I feel like a quick little fast-paced read might just do the trick. Then we have Hideaway by Penelope Douglas. I've read Corrupt in this series and I didn't really like it. Controversial opinion. So I'm not sure if I'm going to continue the series, but I bought Hideaway before I'd finished Corrupt. Or was it after? It might have been after and I thought I was going to continue with the series, but I think I might have some better things to read at the moment. Then we have The Bridge Kingdom by Danielle L. Jensen. I'm so excited to read this book very shortly. It low-key might be my next read, potentially, because I absolutely adored A Fate Inked in Blood. I'm never going to shut up about that book because it's so perfect to me, but I'm very excited to read some more of her backlist. Then we have When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. The flop on this book, look at that. That is beautiful. I am honestly so tempted to read the physical version just because of that. I'm gagged. That's incredible. And then finally on that stack, we have Sea of Ruin by Pam Godwin. I'm scared of this book. I mentioned it in my mid-year wrap-up as one of the most beautiful books that I own. At that point, it hadn't turned up on my doorstep. It's still beautiful. I think she's so freaking gorgeous. I'm in love with the composition, the colors. However, the content in this book, I've heard there's some on-page assaults, which we'll see how we go. But otherwise, I am quite intrigued to read it because it's like a historical pirate kind of moment. And then finally, our last stack of books. We have Legends and Lattes, The Stopover by T.L. Swan, The Truth and Lies Duet by Kay Webster and Nikki Ash. Then we have 5 of the books from Amo Jones's Elite Kings Club series. This was like one of the first dark romance series I bought, and I read the first 2 books. Honestly, really enjoyed them. I don't know why I never continued, but I really do want to go back one of these days and read like the entire series from start to finish. And I mean, as far as like dark mystical covers go, I think these ones are absolutely beautiful. Then we have There Is No Devil by Sophie Lark. I've read the first book in this duet and I'm not quite sure why I never continued it. I feel like I might have read like half of this one and just didn't really like it, so I put it down. And last but certainly not least, we have the final 2 books of the Kingmakers series by Sophie Lark. We have The Spy and we have The Savage. And there we have my entire physical TBR. I feel like we should go through real quick and count them, right? I feel like that's the only right thing to do. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 100, 101, 102, 103. Ooh. Okay, so I currently have 109 unread books on my physical TBR, which that's a little bit insane. Don't really feel great about that, I'm not gonna lie. I think it's probably about time I stop buying physical books when I have access to them on Kindle Unlimited. But like, when the cover is really pretty, I can't help myself. Anyway, with that, we have come to the end of this video. I really hope you've enjoyed. I have had a rude awakening, let's just say that. I need to start saving some money and stop buying so many books. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you had a good time. If you did, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe because I would love to have you here. If you want to follow me on Goodreads or Instagram, they are both linked down below so you can kind of keep up with what I'm reading. I am feeling so intimidated by all of these books around me right now, so I am gonna go and finish reorganizing my shelves. If you want to see that video, I'm not sure which one I'm gonna post first. first. I'll probably post the bookshelf organization video first, so I'll link that down in the description as well. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching for like the second time, I think, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Bye!